Good morning, everybody. I'm Mike Berlin. You're watching Wild Fed Family, and today is just a wet, cool, rainy, nasty, overcast morning, and it is the perfect day to do some pest control in the garden. So if you are like me and you love a little bit of gardening facts, you're a bit of a science nerd, I think this video is gonna be for you because I think it's really cool. So let's get into it. So I've actually prepped all of my garden beds, and basically what I mean by that is I just burned off the old garden, same thing over there. And then I also have a bunch of new soil that I'm going to be topping off all these garden beds with. But I'm going to stop the pest organically before they even start. And how I'm going to do that is with something called beneficial nematodes. Now, if you're part of the gardening world and you have a pretty good idea of what you're doing, you probably hold a negative connotation to nematodes because there are negative and positive nematodes. Typically we focus on the negative. Those are the ones that eat the root systems from your plants. They can spread quickly and just cause chaos in your garden, but these are not. So these beneficial nematodes are essentially a parasite to a pest. So stuff like your cabbage worms, aphids, fleas, stuff that burrow in the ground and lay their eggs. What these nematodes are going to be doing is burrowing into those pests in the egg and larva stage before they even emerge from the soil to start feeding on your garden and your plants. So there are just a few basic things that you need. You need a pump sprayer. I have a gallon and a half of water in here, and then I have 5 million nematodes. Now, each of these, the HB, SC, and SF, stand for the scientific names of those nematodes themselves, and each species is going to kill a different variety. And it comes with this chart. I got these 5 million nematodes, which is enough to treat all my gardens, for about $15 on Amazon. It comes with this chart, tells you all of the different pests that each species kills, like this SF. For example, only takes care of fungus gnats, whereas fleas, the HB and SC, is going to as well. So those, the HB is Hedera habitidis bacteriophora. The SC is Sternema carpocapsae, and the SF is Sternema feliatae. And don't question my pronunciation, that is the correct pronunciation. And we're just going to move on from there. So like I said, we have water in a spray tank. We have the nematodes in this pack, and this is living nematodes, so similar to like a pack of yeast. So when I got this, it was actually with a cooler in a double insulated package, and it went in my fridge for about 5 days until I got the perfect weather for it. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. But right now we're going to mix this powder with the nematodes into this and inoculate this sprayer and get it ready to go on the gardens. So I'm gonna let it sit and kind of spread around that water mixture for about 2-3 minutes here. And in the meantime, I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing it on a wet, cool, rainy day. Now, like I said, these are living organisms and they're sensitive to UV light, hence why they burrow in the dirt and they live there. So if you're going to put this out on a 85, 90 degree day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon where the sun is just beating down, what you're doing is you're putting these on a hot surface, just like throwing a worm on black asphalt. It's just going to shrivel up and die. So you don't want that. You want wet soil, loose soil for it to penetrate, and then you also want water on it for, I don't know, the next little while. It's going to rain probably till about 1 o'clock here today, so I got another 4 hours of this light misty rain for it to work into the soil. Now you can do this without rain. I would pick an overcast day, water the garden beforehand, spray it in the garden, and then water again after you spray it. So you can do that as well, but remember, you're dealing with live little microbes, so you want to do your best to keep them alive, and this is the perfect day for it. Also going to spray down this entire new pile and inoculate that I got as well before it goes into the garden. I'm also going to hit all of my plants here in the greenhouse as well. But because I have the roof on this greenhouse and it's out of the rain, I have to give it a manual water. I'm also going to spray around the base of all of my fruit trees and grapevines. And last but not least, I want to hit my lower early spring garden, where I actually have just about, well, everything planted right now, which is, you know, all of my brassicas, lettuce, onions, potatoes, so on. And I'll probably do a video on that to show you what I plant early spring before your last frost date. So I'm gonna hit this real quick and then we'll be done. And y'all, it is as easy as that. So if you're like me and you refuse to use commercial pesticides, fertilizers, herbicides, all of that garbage on your garden, you want to keep it organic because that's the food that you're putting in you and your children's mouths, then I highly suggest using Beneficial Nematodes, because while you're not looking, they're doing all the work for you and keeping those nasty pests that bother you year and year again out and away from your garden. So check it out. Super simple, organic, and it's just an awesome way to take care of your garden and get an early jump on it before the problems start. So thank you for watching. I actually have a little bit left over, so I'm gonna dump the rest of it onto this pile because it's gonna get mixed up pretty soon here. And that's all I got for this morning. Quick, easy chore, and you'll thank yourself for doing it later. See y'all.